Welcome to the Prophecy Club. Yes, we have been talking about Revelation 17 and some of the revelations that I've got in the book of Revelation, but we may not get to that today because there's a couple of important things that I think I need to point out. And if we have time, we'll get to that. And if not, we've just got to talk about what's going on. First thing I think I need to point out is what is happening with President Donald Trump. This trip to the Middle East could make some major changes in the world. Okay, let's back up. As you recall, Terry Bennett, assuming it really was the angel Gabriel that really came to him and really did talk to him. Okay, so assume for just a moment that's true. Assuming that he wasn't hearing from the devil, or he's not lying to us, or he didn't make this stuff up, assuming that's true, he said that the fall of America would be in 2021. Now, please quote things correctly here. I am not saying, nor did I say, that America would fall in 2021. I have said it sounds reasonable. It doesn't sound like it's outside of the box. But for just a minute, for you to see what I'm seeing, let's assume for just a minute, okay? Please, look, you have to do things correctly, okay? Don't say, I said that America would fall in 2021 when I have not said that, okay? So please, look, I know this is a radio program, and we tend to tune into radio to get entertained, but this radio program is not about entertainment. This is serious kingdom business. We're talking about the fall of our beloved nation. We are not playing games. We are not doing this for donations. I have a call to warn this nation right now and the world eventually. So let's assume that America's fall is in 2021. Now let's look at some things that we know. I don't have any notes. I'm just talking off the top of my heart, I guess you would say. If that's true, then we've got the second snake bite. As you recall, the angel came and spoke to Michael Boldea, the grandson of Dimitri Duduman, and basically said that there's 3 snake bites coming to America. The third one would be her destruction. The first one was 9/11, and the second one, apparently, from everything we gather, without going into all the details, apparently is going to be something very catastrophic. While it could be an earthquake, because Michael was shown that, a great earthquake, it also could be the series of explosions like I was shown and Michael was shown. We don't know. And the purpose of this broadcast, I'm not trying to get into the details of that. I'm trying to show you an overall view of where we possibly could be going in light of this trip that Donald Trump has made to the Middle East. So we know from the second snake bite. We know there's a second snake bite coming. We know that there's a great catastrophe coming to America. Now, hold on there. Keep that in mind. And we're going to try to make a point here in just a minute. Then let's back up. As you recall, I've talked about this many times. And by the way, if you have not written this down, or if you have not gone to Prophecy Club website and downloaded headlines to the fall of America, shame on you. What kind of a prophecy student are you if you aren't getting these things in writing? Matter of fact, what you really should already have, I think everybody listening, can I just be frank with you for just a minute? I'm not trying to sell product here, okay? I'm trying to get you the information so that you will not lose your head. And I mean that in several ways. One, that you won't lose your head and do something stupid, or that you won't lose your head because you made a bad decision, because you didn't understand prophecy, and also that you won't wind up losing your head for the wrong reason. Now, losing your head for Jesus, that's a good thing. In other words, you needed to have, first of all, I think you need to get the book, Prophecies of the Fall of America. Everybody listening ought to have that book. You also should have Wake Up America. That's the testimony of Dimitri Duduman and the angel coming to him. I think you need to seriously go to prophecyclub.com and take an evening and go. Matter of fact, you can download the catalog, or you can call 785-266-1112 and order our catalog. Go through that seriously. Spend an evening flipping through that and making certain you have the information you need to make good decisions about the center or the future. Now, let me get back to what I'm trying to say. I've talked about this many times. These headlines that Leslie was shown are going to happen. Again, I've talked about that, but God confirmed to me one night, it was June 16th of 2008 when I was out on that speaking tour, and he said that when the things that he had given to my wife, and that's what he said, okay, those were the words, and I didn't hear audible words, but I mean, I spent the whole evening with him, basically going to school, and he was showing me all kinds of things. That's part of what he said. When those headlines start coming, those newspaper headlines, when they start coming to pass, people from every place, all directions, are going to turn and begin to listen to you in your ministry. And of course, I'm saying praise God, because right now, they don't listen so good. They don't necessarily, they don't recognize the voice of God. They don't know when God is talking and when not. Most of them look at each other and scratch their head and say, was that God? I don't know if that's God, because they don't know enough of the Bible. They don't know enough of the Spirit. I mean, they didn't spend time with Dimitri Duduman and some of the other great prophets of God that I have. I understand. It's not that they're stupid. It's just that God has not given them enough information to know when He is really talking. So, again, I'm not trying to point fingers. I'm not trying to talk harsh to you. I'm just saying some of you just honestly don't know. Well, that's part of my job, because I do know. and I'm not trying to be arrogant here. I mean, that's what God has prepared me to do, to be able to bring this stuff to you. So, all right, get to the point. So, she had these headlines given to her, April 15th. I've covered this many times, and I'm making a very important point when we get there. Stay with me. April 15th, 2002, Arafat going to the hospital. That's what she was told. 2 years later, 11/11/04, 3:30 a.m., just as she was told, Arafat went to the hospital and died there. But the interesting part, April 15th, 2002, Arafat wasn't even allowed outside of his compound. So to put in writing, send to all of our best supporters, put in the magazine, put on the internet, put on the radio, that Arafat's going to die in the hospital, that was a big thing. But it came to pass. That says that the rest of this prophecy is also accurate. She was also told that the Palestinians will be given a state. Israel will give them a state, but it'd be a temporary measure to allow the Israelis time to strengthen their military. She was told oil will be discovered in Israel, massive amounts of oil. And Hayseed, Mary Jean Stevens were in the dream, so we take that as a direction saying that the vision of Hayseed will be fulfilled. And in my personal opinion, I think that will be fulfilled through yours truly and Prophetic Oil Incorporated, the company that God had me start. Then oil will make the Jews willing to fight for their land, and Israel and America will go against most of the Arab world. Okay, now I said prophetic oil. I got to give you that disclaimer. We cannot guarantee that prophetic oil will ever get the money or drill or hit oil in Israel. So there's the disclaimer. Then Israel and America will go against most of the Arab world. Now that was April 15th, 2002. January 22 of 2006, God spoke to her these newspaper headlines audibly in the night. Actually, she heard the first one audibly, then the other one she heard in her heart. Now, I've had a few emails come in lately saying, would you give us the headlines in the exact order that they were spoken to her? So this time I'm going to give you the headlines in the exact order that they were spoken to her, with one exception. We somehow forgot to write down catastrophe hits America, so I'm not exactly certain what order that was given to her in. But she said what she heard first was Israel refuses help to America, catastrophe hits America, Omer ushers in Palestinian state, one of America's greatest times of need, Israel has attacked America and sends troops, chaos reigns as Americans protest help to Israel. Then she heard my voice quoting Dimitri Duduman that quoted the angel, the fall of America would start with an internal revolution started by the communists. Now, the point is, Donald Trump is over and apparently has, how do I say this, kissed and made up with the Saudis over the mess that Obama created by going over and cuddling up to Iran, which is almost the arch enemy of the Saudis, because the Saudis believe in a peaceful Muslim religion, whereas Iran believes in a radical terrorist, we have to kill all of the infidels religion. So they're exactly opposite. And that's the reason the Saudis are buying all of this new military equipment, which I actually think is a good thing. I know the Israelis are very concerned about it, but I can see that Saudis, a matter of fact, I think what is really happening is that God is aligning these nations up perfectly for World War III, the time when Russia will attack. Just like Trump has made good friends with the Chinese and also with Japan and South Korea. We're seeing, because the angel said, then God will raise up China, Japan, and many of the nations. They'll go against the Russians. They'll defeat the Russians, back the Russians to the gates of Paris, where they sign a peace treaty, but they make the Russians their leader. Then under the leadership of the Russians, all the world goes down to attack Israel. And that's the Battle of Armageddon. Now, these nations are lining up, preparing for World War III, and eventually it will go to Armageddon. So the Saudis will be on our side. Israel, well, as a matter of fact, Israel is what causes World War III. And we can get to that too. Israel, basically, what these headlines are really saying, now let me turn around and repeat them in the order I think that they will be fulfilled. Now, again, there's no guarantee. We don't know exactly what order they will be fulfilled. But I can tell you that right now with Donald Trump over there in Israel, even as I'm recording this, we could very easily shortly have one of the headlines, which I think is the first headline to be fulfilled, could possibly be fulfilled. So that headline is, Omer ushers in Palestinian state. We do not know what Omer is. We don't know if that's Ehud Olmert, or if that is the counting of the Omer, or some other Omer. We don't know. We just know that the words to headline will be, and she heard them. She didn't see the headline. She didn't have it spelled for her. So we only know the pronunciation is Omer ushers in Palestinian state. However, with Kushner being his son-in-law, being a Jew, being what I got one email that says he's an Orthodox Jew. And he's over there in Israel, even as I am speaking, and it could very well be that with Donald Trump, that they could put together some kind of a peace deal. And of course, as you can imagine, America is probably going to wind up being the guarantor of that. In other words, well, we're going to guarantee Israel's safety. We're going to guarantee that with our military. Now, let me go through these headlines because this ties together with what we need to be watching for right now. The Saudis have realigned themselves with America, even though Obama made a big mess of it with going over there and kissing up to the Iranians, the Persians. You see, while it's the same religion, it's not the same bloodline. See, Iran, that's the Persians, whereas Saudis, those are Arabs. Those are sons of Ishmael. So it's different bloodlines, might be the same book, but it is not the same viewpoint on that book. Now, let's go back to the headlines. Omer ushers in Palestinian state. This is the order I think that they will be fulfilled. I think we will see, and it may very well be started. Matter of fact, it may have already been started this weekend. And it may be that here very soon, maybe even this year, we will see the headline, Omer ushers in Palestinian state. I do not know what newspaper that headline will appear in, but my guess is that it's probably going to be an Israeli newspaper. My best guess is probably the Jerusalem Post. That's just a guess. 2, catastrophe hits America. I think that that's a very good possibility to be the second snake bite. Very easily, we could see some kind of a giant earthquake. We could see the series of explosions go off all across America. Something is going to put America on our knees. Okay, so in that it says Omer ushers in Palestinian state, that tells me that Trump with Kushner somehow put together some kind of an agreement to say basically we're going to guarantee Israel's safety and we're going to put together finally peace in the Middle East. And as a result of that, America's military and their might and their guarantee is on the line of some agreement saying if we have trouble, we're going to send troops. Now, again, the second one is catastrophe hits America. I think there's going to be some kind of a mega catastrophe that'll hit America. And as a result, we are drastically reduced in our strength. And that causes our enemies to say, oh, hey, man, look at America. She's down on her knees. If there's ever a time to attack and destroy Israel, it's now. And so they turn around and they attack Israel. But let's go to the third headline first. It says, one of America's greatest times of need. So this catastrophe is something that hits America far harder than 9/11. This is something that really puts us on our knees, not knees praying, knees as in we were begging. We're really hurting. Next headline, Israel refuses help to America. That tells me that America cries to all of her allies, cries to all of the world, help, 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 we need help. We are hurting. We are hurting really bad. All of our allies, all of the world that we've been helping you, come and help America. That's what we say. And the headline says, Israel refuses help to America. That tells me that sometime between now and then, something that America does not make Israel happy. That makes me think that somehow the Israeli arms got twisted to give the Palestinians a state. So the Palestinians apparently aren't going to bend, aren't going to buckle, and they are going to have what they want. And so apparently America comes in and twists Israel's arms and says, you are going to do it this way. And that's what brings in the Palestinian state, but that's also what angers Israel. So then when America gets hit, and probably the reason America does get hit is because America twisted the arms of the Israelis and made Israel do this deal, this Palestinian state. As a result, God hits America. As a result, the headline pops up, one of America's greatest times of need. As a result, Israel said, we ain't going to help. You twisted our arm. You made us do that thing to give the Palestinians a state. We're not going to help. Don't call us. We're not going to help you. You didn't do us right. And then the enemies of Israel says, hey, America and Israel, they're fussing. They're fighting. America's hurting. America's on her knees. America's down. Israel is mad at America. Israel wouldn't send America help. So America and Israel are fussing. They're fighting at each other. Hey, man, now's the time to attack. Let's go hit Israel. So the Arabs attack. There it is. Number 5, Israel is attacked. America sends troops, which is the right thing to do. But the problem is then CNN, MSNBC, all of these communist networks, these communist-owned networks, these people that don't want to see a Christian nation succeed, that don't want to see America do well, want to see a world government, a new world order, the Antichrist come in. They want to see America fall. They don't like America. They don't like, I know that's hard to believe, but I really think the owners of CNN and MSNBC and ABC and NBC and these big networks, the owners, the people that are really pulling the strings behind the story are really attacking Trump. And when they attack Trump, they're really attacking America. And when they're attacking America, what they're really doing is attacking Christians. And when they're attacking Christians, what they're really doing is attacking Jesus, because like God told me, these are the days of Elijah. These are the days when there's a great battle between good and evil. This is the time when the whole world is trying to figure out whose God is really God. If your God is Elijah, then fall down and worship Elijah and his God. If your God is the prophets of Baal, then fall down and worship them. This is the time when all the world is trying to figure out, is there really a God? Because America's God doesn't seem to be very powerful now, because America's on her knees. A catastrophe hit America. And this is the time when Israel is attacked. And America sends troops, which is the right thing. But then CNN, all of those news networks pop up and they say, oh, what are we doing sending help to Israel? And then the looting, the burning, the protesting, the signs, all of the anger that's in America, and they are fomenting even more anger. They are stirring up trouble. Again, what did the angel say? That there would be trouble in America, an internal revolution started by the communists. Some of the people will start fighting against the government. What are they fighting against? They're fighting against Trump. They're fighting against Christianity and against America being strong again and great again, because they want to see America fall. They're angry. They hate. They're filled with hate, just like Revelation 18 says. And America has become the hold of every foul spirit and the cage of every unclean and hateful bird. She's become the habitation of devils. And America is rapidly moving into that. And so Israel is attacked. America sends troops. But CNN, MSNBC, ABC, CBS, NBC, all of these guys, all are on there. What are we doing sending help to Israel? We should not be sending help to them. Why? They didn't help us in our time of need. They didn't help us. We all saw that Israel refused help. Saudi helped. Japan helped. China helped. But Israel would not help. And now Israel is attacked. Why should we be helping Israel? Why? We should not be helping Israel. They didn't help us. You see, that's not the right attitude. But we have to understand, look, Israel doesn't need America. Israel has God, and the prophets guarantee behind them that when Israel is back in the land, she will never be uprooted ever, 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 ever again. America needs Israel. Israel doesn't need America. We need Israel, because I will bless them that bless you, and I will curse them that curse you. A lot of America's blessing has come. A lot of America's protection has come. A lot of America's rise has come because we have been the standing force behind Israel, because we stood behind Israel, because we lift up Israel. And that's a lot of our blessing. But even though when we see that Israel is attacked, America sends troops, then number 6 is chaos reigns as Americans protest help to Israel. So all across America, CNN, ABC, NBC, all of these guys, why are we sending help to Israel? They didn't help us. It's like a little child, you see. They didn't help us. We shouldn't help them. And then the protesters come out and they start protesting and burning cities and rioting and looting. Well, God looks down and says, hey, America sent troops, but America's heart is not for Israel. And so consequently, God says, I'm going to remove my hand of blessing and protection on America. Now, keep in mind that our contract with God started November the 11th of 1620. Our forefathers signed the Mayflower Compact to start a new nation, quote, for the furtherance of the Christian faith, unquote. And we signed that before we even got off of the Mayflower boat. That is what brought blessings and protection to America, not the Constitution, okay? So then God has been protecting us. Now, 1620, add 400 years, that comes up to 2020. In my opinion, God's hand of blessing and protection will be removed on or about or surrounding 2020. Why else is that important? Because the angel first came to Dmitri in 1980 and said, you're going to go to America to give them a warning from God. That's when the countdown started for America in 1980. Add 40 years, just like Nineveh was given 40 years, 40 is the number of judgment. Just like it rained 40 days and 40 nights, 40 is the number of judgment. America has been given 40 years to repent and turn back to God. But when she doesn't, when we start protesting that Israel is attacked and we send troops. When protesting breaks out all across America, brothers and sisters, I'm telling you that the fall of America is imminent. We send troops. We have involved ourselves in the World War III. Russia is over there, and Russia says, all right, that's it. We've had enough. We've got superior technology. We've got the plan. We've got the way to defeat America. We've been waiting for years and years for this moment to take America down. We want to have ownership and rulership of the world. We want to rule the world. We have been waiting for this moment. And so whoever is president, Gog, Magog, whatever the name might be, whatever the name of the president of Russia is going to say, it's time to attack. And Russia launches a surprise nuclear attack. And I do not know if President will be Trump at that time, but it would not surprise me. I don't know how that's going to hand out. God hasn't told anyone that I know of exactly how that all works out. But if Terry Bennett is telling the truth, if the angel Gabriel really did visit him, and if America's fall is in 2021, then that tells us here we are setting in 2017. That tells us we are in the ballpark of 3 to 4, probably 5 years on the outside. I'm not trying to set a date here. I'm trying to paint a picture of what could happen. That tells me, and this is the point of the broadcast, that tells me soon and very soon we could see some kind of an agreement to give the Palestinians a state begin to manifest and bubble up, and it could actually be penned and signed very soon, possibly even this year. Keep in mind, this is the year making 70 years since Israel became a nation. This is the year that Sundar Selvaraj, the prophet of India, at least claims that he was taken to heaven and said there will be war in Israel this year. If there's war in Israel this year, could it be that all of this begins to happen this soon? I don't want to believe that. I want to think we have more time, but as someone I'm a watchman. Okay, if I see a sword come, I'm commanded to warn you. So here you go. This is your warning. Trump being over in the Middle East could very well bring the Palestinian state. We could see war this year. We could see major problems. We could see catastrophe hits America. All of these things we've been prophesying, we've been telling you they're coming. They may be coming this year. Now, I'm asking you for your prayers and your financial help. Will you help me to continue to get this warning out? Thank you for listening. Thank you for your prayers. And thank you for your gifts of support. God bless. Now from the Prophecy Club, some exciting opportunities for you. Brian Melvin did an excellent job making this DVD called Hell in a Box and From Hell to Heaven. Excellent talk. I've heard about 30 some odd talks of people that have passed on, some to heaven, some to hell. This is one of the best ones. This held my attention all the way through. Now look, just as archaeology can be really powerful to win people to Christ, and you need that. You need this DVD in your hands to show people this will convince people. I'm saying this will convince the skeptic to get saved very powerfully. You want this DVD and this book, Hell in a Box and Hell to Heaven, and the book, A Land Unknown, Hell's Dominion. DVD gift of 30, book gift of 20, both for a gift of 45, prophecyclub.com or 785-266-1112. The Hell gift offer. Keep them out of it with the Hell gift offer. prophecyclub.com, 785-266-1112. Okay, I have some good news. We are going to extend the archaeology gift offer for one more week. Here's what you get. It's actually 4 discs. You're going to get the 1991 video that I shot when Leslie and I visited Noah's Ark, the crossing side of the Red Sea, all kinds of amazing things on that 2-week tour with Ron Wyatt. That's called Archaeology Confirms the Bible. Then I made one back in 2012 called Noah's Ark Confirms the Bible, and this is explaining a lot of the things that was actually on the first DVD. Then we had Michael Rood in to make 2 amazing DVDs. First one called End Times Archaeology. Second one called Dead Sea Scrolls. 4 discs, 4 titles, and is normally valued at $80, but we're making it available right now for a gift of just $40. We're going to extend it one more week. It's called the Archaeology Gift Offer at prophecyclub.com or 785-266-1112. Archaeology Gift Offer, prophecyclub.com, 785-266-1112. Last week, get it now.